Welcome to Real Estate Secrets Unlocked, the podcast that takes you inside the minds of the industry's top professionals, revealing their top secrets to success. I'm your host, Danielle Damianov. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, get ready to learn the latest trends, strategies, and secrets that will help you succeed. Join us as we go beyond the basics and explore what it takes to make it in the world of real estate. So buckle up and get ready for a wild ride. This is Real Estate Secrets Unlocked. Hey everybody, it's Danielle Damianov and with Real Estate Secrets Unlocked, and I am so excited to have Sridhar Sannidhi, CEO of Grow Wealth to Retire, here on the podcast today. He is a seasoned investor. He's been investing in residential and commercial real estate for over 25 years and has an impressive resume. Been a passive investor for he's got more than 400 million in assets under management currently. Passively invested in more than 11,000 multifamily units and 2,000 actively and 600 units under construction. So definitely a pretty big resume over the past 25 years. So thank you so much for being on. Why don't you, tell everybody a little bit about what you do?
Oh, thank you for having me on the show. And my name is Sridhar Sannidhi. I was an IT professional until last year. Now I'm a full-fledged commercial real estate syndicator developer. Prior to that, I used to do single families, apartment type of thing. Now I'm mostly in the commercial side. I was in IT for 30 years, and I always wanted to do some entrepreneurial adventures or some entrepreneurships. So in that part, I was looking to start IT companies, and then they didn't go well. While doing W-2 job, you may not be able to focus on so many things. So then I started looking for building a single family portfolio. Even that didn't pick up at the pace. I'm not able to buy any single family properties in the area where I'm living because the competition was so high. So then I switched to multifamily. I thought I should go for big and bold. So that's how I entered into commercial space. Since then, I've been doing this syndication. So far, I'm into 15 plus syndications. 3 went full cycle, so remaining are there.
So tell me a little bit. So I think this is interesting because, there's a lot of people that want to get into investing and they have their W-2 job. So you were in your W-2 job while you were working on your real estate investing on the side. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Yep. Yeah. And I think that's important to point out because a lot of people want to get into real estate investing, but they're not really sure, where to start or how to get into it. And you were doing your regular IT job. And then it also sounds like you had some, tried some things and it didn't work. So you're just you keep trying until you found the thing that worked for you.
Yes. So when I was looking for single family houses, right, I was looking for education, mentoring, and different resources. I bumped into biggerpockets.com. So there, I was searching for different clues to get the single families, and in that process, I bumped into multifamily thread. There I found a couple of sponsors, and they said that this passive investment is better than the single family. That's their argument. So I thought I should give it a try and see whether it really works, or is it something that oversold. In any case, there's underlying real estate asset is there. So I was hoping that it's not going to completely wipe out my principal. So, which I experimented in Wall Street a few years back prior to that. So then I decided to join their first syndication. Their syndication. That was my first passive investment. And then to my surprise, they were on promptly giving the passive investment checks every quarter. So that excited me, and I said, okay, this check seems good, but I need a bigger check. So what should I do for a bigger check? Then the answer is I should take active role. So I started attending events, weekend events with various commercial real estate related weekend events. I bumped into another gentleman, and then we decided to go and then syndicate the deal. So within a couple of months, we were able to locate a 96 unit deep value add property in a tertiary market, and we started right away. And as I have W2 job, I was not sure how much I can contribute. The easiest approach was to raise funds for the deal and go from there. So we started that way. I was not sure I would be able to raise the funds, but I have a plan B. If my commitment is not met, then I was planning to sell some of my stocks and put my own money, see how it goes. To my surprise, I was able to raise more than what I expected. So that gave me more motivation to go for more deals. So that year alone, I did 4 deals.
Wow. So let's let everybody know what a real estate syndicate is, because I don't think a lot of people know exactly what that means. So do you want to explain, real estate syndications and how that works?
Sure. The syndication is like if you buy a single family, most likely you use your own credit report or your own net worth and your own down payment to buy the property. Obviously, you borrow money from bank if you need. Otherwise, if you have all the cash, you will buy it. So since it is a considerably, it's a large amount, but not too big for many people. So they would buy that way. Whereas this commercial properties, the valuation runs into millions. So oftentimes, one may not have enough money to do the down payment and then even get the loan with all the financial requirements for getting the loan. So that is when what we do is like we pull up like-minded investors who wants to join the deal, but they don't want to do the active work. So that is where you have this different category of investor called general partners who will do the active hands-on work. All other investors are called limited partners or passive investors. So we raise the money to do the down payment similar to the single family, and we borrow money from agency like Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac type of agencies or banks or funds. When we buy the property, we hire a third-party property management company and then do the day-to-day operations and make sure that we are performing as per the business plan and exit at the right time.
Right. So basically you're crowdfunding for, to be able to buy the property. And then are these properties that you're getting in there, like you had said, value add, and then turning around and flipping, or are you holding them?
So most of them are value add, and we keep the properties for 3 to 5 years because it takes a year or so to improve the property because these properties are not vacant. People are living in there. So as and when the units become vacant, we upgrade the units and then we lease them at the right market price. So that way, that's why it takes more than a year to complete that business plan.
So tell me where you see, what the big differences you see between the residential and commercial real estate investing and why you kind of went more towards commercial as opposed to residential.
So the residential, couple of reasons. One, you have a ceiling limit, like after 10 homes, you cannot get a new loan unless you do some financial engineering on that one. So that is a limit with the 10 properties. And two, they are all not located in a single place, so it is all diversified. So the management-wise, it's a little more tedious. It is time-taking. For doing the similar process like acquisition, stabilizing into single family, and making it ready to rent and all, and finding the tenant and doing it, it's a similar effort. So if we can do that if we can put the same effort, we will get more returns on the multifamily. Since there are more units, you will have some advantage of having a professional management, so that relieves you, right, from doing day-to-day operations. Yeah, day-to-day operations. And a single family also you can do it, but your whatever profit margin you have, you will lose a lot from the single family case. But here it can afford to have a professional management company to run the properties. So that relieves the big time to focus on more deals and more units.
Yeah, and I think the value, if you're putting in a similar amount of effort,
Yep.
you're going to want to just go with a bigger value where, a place where you're going to be able to make more money. So tell everybody, and I think this is a question I get all the time, especially from real estate investors that are looking to start investing, is where do you find the deals?
So that's a good question. So once you start going to all these real estate events, right, you will meet so many real estate brokers, investors, and all that. So once you know what kind of property you want to buy, basically you need to decide like which area you want to buy, how much money you can raise, and how big of the property you're looking for. All those things, once you have an idea, then you can tell the broker or whomever you met in the event, and tell them that I'm looking for so-and-so type of property. Whenever you have it, can you please share the details with me? I'm interested in buying. Then from that point onwards, they will add you to their database and they keep sending you those properties. That is one way. The other way is they also have online presence, pretty much all brokerage firms. You can constantly keep checking their portal every day because every day they keep posting new deals. So, and the ones which fits your category, your criteria, you can download it and then underwrite it and start working with them. So those two. And third one, the third one is like you go to auction sites and now there also you will come across some multifamily assets, but that is competitive. You need to have cash ready for those properties.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, are you looking at mainly multifamily residential units? Or are you looking at any commercial office space? What is your specific criteria?
So at the moment, I'm mainly focusing on multifamily residential. And now I'm exploring the possibility of getting into storage spaces, flex warehouses and all. So we are underwriting the deals. We didn't get anything yet. So we decided to start building also. So as part of it, right now, we're going through an entitlement process in Austin. We bought 20-acre land. We are going for entitlement to get one hotel and retail space and townhomes.
Wow. And so how many people is in that syndicate with you?
So we do it in two phases. When we buy the raw land and we go through this approval process. Usually approval process takes anywhere from 12 months to 18 months. So once that is done, then we'll raise funds from investors into phase two, the actual construction phase. The first phase maybe 20 investors or so. The second phase usually 100 plus investors.
Wow. Okay. And so who basically, I know we talked about property management for the actual, building or units or whatever, but when it comes to the syndication, who sets that up? I'm assuming it's an attorney, but is it basically like a blanketed, type of agreement for most syndicates?
So for all these syndications, we follow the SEC guidelines. So we hire an SEC familiar attorneys. So then they will help us creating the LLC. They will help us creating the PPM. PPM stands for Private Place Memorandum, and subscription documents, operating agreements, and all those documents in a standard format, and that is compliant with the SEC. Because we need to strictly comply with the SEC since we are borrowing the money from multiple individuals.
Right. So I'm sure there's a lot of real estate agents, real estate investors out there that come across deals all the time, but they don't have the funds and maybe they don't even want to worry about doing a syndicate. Where can they go to promote their properties to say, hey, I have this property or whatever, if, your syndicate or another one is looking to buy?
Yeah, but when you have a deal, usually the deal is, from the SEC point of view, it is registered in 2 or 3 different categories. One category is called 506B, means you can raise funds from the friends and family only, or those whom you know by the time you launch the deal. The other one is a 506C, which means that you can advertise in the marketplace, but for that, one has to be an accredited investor only. You cannot take non-accredited investors into the deal. And there is another type of syndication where it's like heavy SEC documentation is required that you can go and raise the funds in a massive scale. So Reg A, and that is another type of syndication. So most of the deals are either 506B or 506C. So 506B, if you don't have a big network of friends, then you need to bring in co-GPs, and they in turn will use their network to raise the money. So that's the best way to do the syndication. Once you have done a couple of deals, then your brand will be known to other people. At that point, you can go to 506C and promoting on the social media and other places to get the funds. Also, you can reach out to broker dealers who are like basically their main role is to secure the funding from high net worth individuals to your deals. So we can reach out to them also.
Okay, so let's talk about the 506C. One of the things that you mentioned was accredited investor. So why don't we let everybody know like what accredited investor is? Because not just anybody can go and invest in something like that. They have to actually be vetted.
Yeah, sure. One has to verify that whatever the financial statement they're saying is true through a third party to make them an accredited investor. So the requirement is that person is making $200,000 per year alone, or with spouse, it's 300,000 plus. And another option is if they have $1 million investable assets other than primary residence. Okay, so the retirement funds can be counted into that one. Yep. So that is another option. And the third one is if they have a fund, if they have created a fund, and if the fund has more than $5 million or something like that, they also can be considered as accredited investors. Okay. So in those 3 categories, they can come in and invest.
Perfect. So what advice would you give to, I guess, any investor that's kind of looking to get into real estate investing? Where should they go? I mean, it sounds like you started in IT. That was your main business. That was your background. But over the years, you've learned so much. I mean, how to underwrite a deal, how to, source or find the deals, how to crowdfund, how to, do real estate syndicates. So all of that is a lot, and it takes, time to learn all of that. So where would you suggest they go to start learning about that type of stuff?
So luckily nowadays there's so many videos on the YouTube and so much content on the web. They can start from there. And the second thing I would recommend is start going to the local real estate events. If you go to meet.com, right, they will have a lot of real estate events published there. So just register and go there and start networking with people. They in turn will give some preliminary knowledge share. After that, if they want a boost, they can join some mentoring programs to speed up their effort. So that way, they will be focused more and they will do less mistakes in that process. Even for underwriting, there are several underwriting models available in the marketplace, and they can also take classes for underwriting. But I would say first couple of syndications, they should work with some experienced general partner. That way they can guide them and they can handhold them and for the complete process, the complete life cycle.
Yeah, there's, like in our area, for example, and I know that in every area, there's a lot of real estate investment associations. So if you go to Google and just put in real estate investment association near me, they're going to pop up. Or as you said, meetup.com. even Facebook groups. You can join specific Facebook groups specifically on real estate investing. Bigger Pockets, is another one. So in your opinion, where do you see the market going? Like, we all know what happened back in 2008, right? So are you starting to see more pre-foreclosures, more commercial deals where people are in distress?
So in 2008, most funding was happening from the government agencies. So mostly Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac was the main source for the funding. Other than that, the large funds had the funds to buy the properties. So there were not that many other alternatives. That's what I was told by other peers. I was not there in the market in 2008. In the current market, we have multiple sources for funding. So it's not only agencies. Now we have debt funds, we have fund of fund type fundraisers and all that. So all these funds are available now. So as a result, the stress level is a little less. Basically, the foreclosure rate is very less. Right now, it's less than 2% foreclosure rate in multifamily, even though the market is experiencing tremendous stress. They have some financial resources to maintain the property. Obviously, most of the deals are not doing the distribution, whoever has the variable interest rate. Right. So they're not doing the distributions to investors, but at least the properties are not being foreclosed. Even though we hear one or two news items here and there about foreclosure, but in grand scheme of things, the percentage is very low.
Yeah. Yeah, I can say, being in lending, we have a lot of different loan programs for real estate investors. Even you had mentioned before the Fannie Freddie, you can't have more than 10 properties financed, which is definitely true. So we have a lot of blanket mortgages where we can do a whole blanket on, 10, 15, 20 properties. A lot of our fix and flips, or rehab loans and stuff like that. We have DSCR rental property loans and a lot of commercial loans. So there's definitely a lot more options today when you're looking for financing. Okay, last question for you. When you were doing your research, right, are there any specific books or any specific people, whether it was on YouTube or wherever, that was a mentor to you or that you followed?
Yeah, I'm from Dallas. So basically, the thing that really motivated me is like Rich Dad, Poor Dad books, like many people quote, right? That's like a eye-opening book for me too, to real estate. Because one of these events, people suggested that book. Then until then, I was not even aware of that book being existed. So I read it, and then I kind of concurred with all those guys, like the way you perceive things should change. So that was a little eye opener. And second thing is I joined a local mentoring program. It's a Brad Samra program here in Dallas. So just to network and learn more at a faster pace, and then be on top of things and being motivated. So that is one big plus. If you're in a group, right, you get motivated. Otherwise, you lose focus. The priorities change because everybody will be busy with their lifestyles, and then suddenly this is an added item in their list of things to do. And the priorities may not stick there if you're not part of a program or a group.
I agree. So definitely, some words of wisdom is to get, don't give up your day job. If you are, if you are just starting out, you don't want to just quit everything and go full force. I mean, you can, but you need to have a safety net. And there's a big learning curve. And the problem with real estate investing sometimes is you're not always going to make a profit. And so really making sure that you're able to analyze those deals. One thing I can tell you, I see deals come across my desk all the time. And a lot of times they're from wholesalers. And I'm in real estate and I'm in mortgage. So I know, and this is my local area. So I know the actual comps, and the comps that are coming through on some of these, emails are definitely not the comps for these specific properties. So definitely, word to the wise is just making sure that you're doing your due diligence, that you're doing everything you can. Don't quit your day job. Do both for a while until you have the ability to go full time into it. And then just definitely, learn, study, and get around people. The more proximity you have to people doing the same thing that you want to be doing, but doing it at a higher level is going to get you to where you want to go much further. So anything that you want to add there or?
Yeah, one thing people need to understand is the commercial real estate is not that simple, and at the same time, it's not a rocket science. So you need to work with a team member. It's not like a single man show. That's one thing I wanted to make sure that it's a team effort.
Right.
And you should treat it as a business rather than owning a property. So that is another thing. And to acquire the property or manage the property takes time. It's a bigger ship to turn around. You cannot take a sudden terms like take a quick decision and dispose the asset overnight type of thing. You cannot do it. You need to plan it well. So even acquisition also, you need to underwrite several things before you can get one, right? You should not give up. The persistence should be there.
Exactly. Yes, you definitely don't want to jump on your first one if it's, especially if it's not the right one. But yes, your persistence and your persistence obviously has paid off over the years. So thank you so much for being on. I really appreciate it. And for everybody that's watching this on YouTube, please make sure you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. But thank you so much. This has been really, really great. Normally we have a lot of people that talk about residential investments. And so I love the commercial side of it and especially the syndication part. So thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Thanks for having me on the show.
You're welcome. Bye. Well, that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Real Estate Secrets Unlocked. Don't forget to subscribe to our show on your favorite platform, and we would love your feedback. Check us out on social and let me know what topics you want more of. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel and our show. I'm your host, Danielle Damianov, and until next time, stay motivated, stay excited, and keep growing in this crazy world of real estate. Thanks for listening to Real Estate Secrets Unlocked.